We are almost coming to the second half of year 2026. With the latest announcement of EC rule changes, let's have a recap on the EC options that we are left with for the next half year. Number 1. EC at Senja Close. The land price was 771 per square feet. Noted that there has not been any EC launch in that vicinity for more than a decade. People who are looking to buy in estate who has amenities and also transport network established can consider about this area. Number 2. EC at Woodlands Drive 17. The land price was 782 per square feet. This is going to be the first new EC in Woodlands in nearly 10 years. There are some transformations that we can look forward to. For example, Johor Bahru and Singapore RTS, and also Woodlands Regional Centre that is going to be the largest economic hub in the North region. Number 3. EC at Sembawang Road. The land price was 692 per square feet. This will be the first low-rise EC in Singapore that is along a waterway. And it is within a short walk to Canberra MRT, which is about 500 meters. Currently, there is fewer than 10 EC that is within less than 500 meters to an MRT station. Out of the 5 EC projects that are not affected by the new EC rule changes, this will be the 3. And next, let's break it down into some of the differences between a new EC and a new private condo. Based on the current EC rules, the minimum occupation period of an EC is 5 years, and after that, you can sell to Singapore citizens and also Singapore PR, and you can even rent out the whole unit. But for a private condo, there is no MOP, but it is subject to seller's stamp duty. You can have a look at the table. And upon completion, you can immediately rent out the whole unit of your private condo for investment purpose. And next, let's talk about mortgage servicing ratio, MSR, and also total debt servicing ratio, TDSR. If you are buying an EC, it is subject to both TDSR and MSR. MSR is capped at 30% of your income, which means this will actually reduce the loan amount and the bank will typically follow the lower loan amount. But if you are buying a private condo, it is subject to only TDSR, and TDSR is capped at 55% of your income, which means including all your mortgage loans, car loans, and also credit cards, the total debt should not exceed 55% of your income. If you are buying a 2 million new private condo, the initial down payment and stamp duty add up together will be about 570,000. But if you are buying a 2 million EC, due to the lower loan amount, the initial down payment and stamp duty that you have to fork out first will be a huge lump sum, which is about 1.1 million. The criteria is also more stringent when it comes to the eligibility of buying an EC. For example, the total income of all persons listed in your application should not exceed 16,000. You can purchase the EC with your married spouse, but if you are currently engaged, you have to get married before the key collection. Take note that you yourself must be a Singapore citizen, and if you are single, you want to buy with your parents, yes, you can do it, but your parents, one of them must be a PR or Singapore citizen. Or if you are single, you want to buy with your siblings who are unmarried as well, you can buy under joint single scheme, but yourself must be a Singapore citizen, above 35 years old, and all your siblings, they must be a Singapore citizen as well. Or if you are single and unfortunately your parents have passed on, and one of the deceased parents, he or she was a Singapore citizen or Singapore PR, and yes, you can buy EC under orphan siblings schemes. You can buy EC under this scheme as long as you are above 21 years old and include one of your orphan siblings who is at least a Singapore citizen or PR. So unlike EC, which has so many restrictions, buying a private condo is more straightforward. If let's say the entry price of a new launch is low, you can think twice to make a comparison again to decide whether to buy an EC or a private condo. But after hearing all the differences, and if you still prefer to buy an EC, don't miss out the last window to purchase. So as I mentioned, the last 3 sites for this year will be either at Senja Close, Woodlands Drive 17 or Sembawang Road. The last 2 EC projects, which are not affected by the new rule changes, will be scheduled to launch likely in next year. So keep a lookout for these 5 new EC projects. Start to engage property agents or I myself to assist you in your property plans. In case you are not aware, so after these 5 new EC projects, the minimum occupation period will be raised to 10 years, meaning that after 10 years, only you can sell out to Singapore citizens or PR. And after these 10 years, then you can rent out the whole unit. And another key change is there will be no more deferred payment scheme, meaning after the initial down payment, you will have to follow the normal payment scheme to make progressive payment whenever the construction milestones of the project are met. Drop me a message if you are keen to find out more on the upcoming new launch and also EC, and let's have a chat soon.